Hello friends, and welcome to Crafting with Nadiya. Today I have for you a special treat. I found this very cute set on clearance, and I thought that we could do a little stitch along. I realized that you may not have the same set. I encourage you to find something else, another simple set, and what I'm going to talk through are the steps of starting a new project. This set I'm going to do unveiling here on camera has instructions. It has thread or floss. It has a needle. Keep in mind that the end of this needle is not very sharp. It's a dull end, and it is the case because we are going to work on Aida cloth. I'm going to show, and this cloth has little holes in it, and it also has a hoop. So in general, I'm not a big fan of hoops because I find that it is actually slowing me down. I'm going to show you on another project how I work without hoops. So but for this one we're going to do a hoop. So what we're going to do now, we're going to open this hoop, and we are going to do that by rotating this little thing, and it loosens the outer edge. So we are going to put this Aida cloth over the hoop. I'm going to rotate it right here like this, and it helps if you, and we're going to put this hoop on top of the other inner circle. So I am going to push it in, and then you have something like that, like this. And it would help if it's more or less centered. Although for the end product it usually doesn't matter. And let me explain to you why it doesn't matter, because the kit designers provide enough Aida cloth or cloth for you to work with to have some extra spaces on every other side. And if you're going to frame it at the end, you are going to hide that extra in another on the back of the frame. So after I push this, I'm gonna tighten this. And after it's tightened, I'm going to tighten the sides so that the work canvas is nice and secure. Now, looking at the pattern, I see that the entire thing fits in this hoop. So by preparing the canvas like this, I don't have to move it again, which is good. And I usually like to start my work from an edge. in this particular case, I think I'm going to start from either from the edge over here or the edge over here. I also have an option of starting from here. Why would you ask I do that? That is because it is a counted cross stitch pattern, and the place that you start determines your position, and also the place that the closer you start from the edge of your project, the easier it is going to be for you to count. And there are tricks that I have to help me count. For example, I take a throwaway piece of floss and I mark every 5 little Aida spaces, and this helps me keep track, so that I then just count these spaces and then multiply by 5 or 4 or whatever number that you are comfortable with. So in this particular place, I am going to start with the brown. I'm going to start from on the lower left. I'm going to take out my needle here and right here, and I am going to take out my brown. So there are different type of techniques as far as floss. Usually we use either 2 or 3 strands. I am going to use 2 strands. So this floss has 6 strands, so I have to take out 2. 1, 2, and see how it comes apart. I am going to use my finger to guide it. It is possible for it to tangle up a little bit, and I just guide it, use these 2 fingers to separate and unravel this. I realized that completing this project is going to take a bit of time, which I don't mind doing on camera. It might be a little bit not interesting for you to watch it all. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to get started, and then I'm going to give you regular progress checks. And of course, anybody who is creative or is doing creative work will tell you that, contrary to all logic, we don't work on one project at a time. So these projects are going to be, I'm going to be showing you several projects at once. So I took out 2 strands. I put this back so that we don't lose it. And I am going to, oh, there's a knot tied on my thread. It's okay, we're going to cut it off. We're going to cut it off. I don't think it's going to hurt us that much. So we are going to take this and thread our needle. There are some tools that you can use that will help you thread your needle. Sometimes I use it, sometimes, and most of the time I don't. So you have thread, and then I put a small little knot at the end, and I'm going to start right here. I'm going to put it on right here, and there are three brown cross stitches. Now what I do is I take my needle, go under the hoop, and put it in the hole. Under the hoop, put it in the hole. It's a little bit like this, right here. Right here. And what I like to do is I'm going to put diagonally here. I'm gonna diagonally here, and on the back I'm going to take my needle and loop it through these two threads. And I do that to secure, see how here? To secure my thread. Now, you can do an entire cross stitch in one go, or you can do half of it, and I'm going to show you how to do half of it and then come back, and the rest of them I'm going to do a whole one. So you have this, and now you have this right here, and now I'm going to put my needle through another parallel diagonal, and I'm going to loop it, to take the needle and pull it, and see you have two diagonal lines, and there are three crosses that we have to do. 3 crosses, and then we skip one and do one more. And the main point is to not worry about being perfect. Let me show you what I have now. Now I have 3 crosses, 3 half crosses, and then I skipped one, and I have one more, and I'm going to do to go back and do it again to complete the crosses. What I like about this technique is that all of my crosses in the end are pointing in the same direction. and that is sign of being neat, although it by no means has to do that. As you're learning, concentrate on just being, just doing the best you can. When I was learning in the beginning, my back was horrible, and eventually it gets better. There is a technique to do it without knotting, but if you're making projects like this one where you have a lot of changes and a lot of cutoffs, and then if it's going to be hidden in the picture frame, it may not be worth it. So here are my crosses, and here is the back. Here is the back. So I'm going to make the rest of this. The next one is 2. And here also I am going to do half a stitch. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button, and I will continue doing more projects with you, and I will do some shorter projects as well, so that we can be done in one go. So here I did 2, and here is my back. And next one I have to do 1. This one I am going to just do 1. And I am going to count. Let's see, I'm going to open this chart right here. This is the chart. You will find that it looks nothing like this, but then there is the key right here, and the instructions on how to do cross stitch right here. So we are counting down. We have counted out 3. Then we have to skip 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and do 2 more. And that is going to be it for this color for now. Sometimes it is helpful to use more than one needle when there are a lot of colors, and I'm going to show that in my next video. It is called parking, needle parking. So count 1, 2, 3, 4. And what it means is that when we are going to finish our brown, I'm gonna take it out of the thread, put it back in a slot where it has brown thread, and then take out dark gray for the wheels and do the wheels, and then take that out. When you're doing needle parking, you have a needle for every color, so you don't have to take the thread out of, or the floss out of the needle, put it back, and you're basically eliminating some of the steps and making it a little faster to do. And we have 2 more, and I will show you next time. And what I'm going to do is I am going to stop this video after I take out this, after I tie off the end for the brown, and I'm going to work on it a little bit on my own, and then I'm going to do another stitch along video where I am going to show you what I have done, what I'm doing next, and so this is the edge here, and this is the back. And what I am going to do is I'm going to take the needle through the back stitching like this. Needles work like this, and then I'm going to do a knot, and I'm going to carefully tie it off. It's another reason why I'm not a big fan of loops, because it makes this process a little bit not neat from my point of view. Okay, I'm going to untie it. Okay, and I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to hold it and tap. So I have something like that. There are 2 knots on this end, and I am going to tie them. I am going to cut. And it's like that. And you have our dirt. Okay, thank you for staying with me for this stitch along, and I'll see you next time. I'm going to show you the progress that I've made, and we're going to do a little bit more. Thank you. See you in the next video.